Hey everyone. How is everyone's day going? Or how is your night going? I don't even know what time it is right now. It's 5. It's 5 in Los Angeles, but it's so dark out. I don't know what to... It feels so much later than it actually is. Hi, Eliza. So far, so good. I love that comment. So far, so good. It's just like, I think we've been on here for like 5 minutes or 5 seconds. Oh my God. That's too funny. Yeah, shout out to, oh, thank you, Kristen. Yeah, the hair's been getting some really fun, reactions recently. People are vibing with the hair. It just was kind of the direction it was going in for a while, and I was just like, I want to grow my hair longer and longer. But then I was just like, I'll just, I don't know. No one really cares. You guys don't care about that, do you? But I like the hair too. It feels like, it vibes with me. I'm doing well. I had a crazy day. So as all of you know, come on, man. No. So as all of you know, I have my debut single is coming out on Friday, 21st Century Love. And today I did my first performance of the song. I'm so excited to share the video with you all, but it was so crazy being on stage. Obviously it wasn't like there was no audience there. It was just it was just like kind of like an empty stage room, whatever you want to call it. But it's pretty thrilling that I got to do that. There's some more details surrounding that, but I'm so excited to share the video with you all. And essentially, just being on stage, like I've been on stage a lot, like for theater and stuff, and like I've been on panels and like done interviews and stuff, and hey, Nico, thanks, man. But I've done interviews and like all these kind of different things, but being on stage singing your own song was like such a crazy experience. And I had the song's producer Jacob McCaslin playing guitar with me on stage, and it was just like, oh my gosh, he was shredding, and like it was such a crazy experience getting to sing my own song. It feels so surreal to be promoting a song right now, because it's kind of just like, I've made my career through acting. I've been a working actor for like 12 years now. And how music came about was just like, Ivani, I think was your name. It scrolled really fast. Yeah, it's out Friday. It's called 21st Century Love. And it's pretty crazy. Anyway, it was just a thrill to sing today. And it's kind of crazy to be promoting like a single as an actor. But it's music came about in such an organic way. Like my voice teacher, I know, like I may have told this story before, but like my voice teacher looked at me one day after one of our lessons. It was actually our first lesson together. He's a teacher here in LA. And he said, you can't just sing like other people's songs for the rest of your life. And I had never heard of this concept before of like, I'd written poetry before that. I'd written screenplays, but I'd never written like a song. And he says, yeah, you should write your own music. Like you should write your own songs. And it's crazy. It kind of coincided with me working on the book for this musical. And, I found myself on set of a film in upstate New York, and I was just like curious about how to write pop songs. And I started researching everyone, like, the Beatles and like Taylor Swift and, John Mayer and like I was just listening to all sorts of kinds of different music. And actually at the same time, this was kind of crazy. So, I was playing, like, the character I play in that film, the film's called Paper Spiders. And, I play kind of like a kid in high school who's struggling with alcoholism. And at the time, A Star Is Born had just come out. The Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga film. And, it was just crazy, because I was inspired by the songwriting in that movie. I was inspired by Bradley Cooper's remarkable performance and Lady Gaga's remarkable performance. And it was just like, so all of this kind of came together. And then from that moment on, after I wrote my first song, the music stuff just kind of flowed in this very natural and organic way. Before I knew it, I had we had finished the first single, and I had written all these other songs, and like, I was practicing my guitar for like up to 4 hours every day during quarantine, and just getting better and better and better. And because before, like, I don't know, it's been such a ride, and it's such a privilege to get to promote a song. And, we'll release the music video too, which I'm super excited to share with everyone, because you've seen like kind of snippets and stuff. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I want to hear some questions. I'm going to go look into some questions. Everyone's always asking me to speak in Spanish. I'll have to prep better for the next live so I can, say some Spanish. All right, let's see some questions. Someone called me kitten. How should I feel about that? I'm curious. Everyone tell me, is kitten a compliment? I'm waiting for answers. If someone calls you kitten, is that a good thing? I'm 25. Okay, 21st Century Love. What is this song about? Good question. 21st Century Love. So, alright. Here's the story. So I was on a dating app, and I matched with this like gorgeous girl. She had freckles, and she had this like long red hair, and we were just messaging back and forth. And it's not the first time I think that any of us have kind of like had feelings for someone that that we've never actually like emotionally interacted with. But there was like this, it was almost like that experience wasn't normalized in that moment. It was almost like it was highlighted and heightened, and it was like, there was almost this like, I've described as like an aura around my phone. And it was kind of just like, what you're experiencing right now is really important. This feeling that you have, this immense attraction to this person, this like immense feeling of connection, and like, oh, I've known this person. There's something weird about like this interaction that we're having in the most spectacular way. And I immediately just started to write. And the first thing I wrote was, I fell in love with you on a screen. And that was the first line that I had written. And like, I can't remember how the song used to go like, how did the song used to go? It was like, I fell in love with you on a screen. Da 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 da. Yeah, and it was like da 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 da. I wish I could see what you see. So that was the original idea for the song. And I brought that to the producer, and I just played essentially 3 verses of that. I forget the lyrics. I forget the lyrics now. I even forget, like, I don't even remember really how to play it. I think it's just like, we changed the key for the actual song when we actually completed it. But I played it for the producer, and he was just like, oh, this is rad. And he like jumped up and he grabbed his guitar, and we just essentially like finished the song there. But that's not the song. That's not 21st Century Love. That was how it started. So all of that to say, the question was, what's the song about? The song is about this kind of like, this need for connection, this very real these very real feelings of passion and intimacy that you can experience like over technology. You know, it's really no different than what we're doing right now. You know, when COVID came around, it unfortunately made the song much more relevant, but the song was actually written and recorded about a year ago. So it's kind of like, you know, so what was kind of crazy is I was like, oh, we need to get this song out. We need to get this song out because it's like never been more timely. And there was sort of like, I felt like a level of urgency to it. And then the pandemic just kept going and going and going and going. And, you know, I've learned, you know, as a producer and, you know, as a director, that things just take as long as they're going to take. And, you know, getting the video done and getting the song completed was like, you know, it was a wonderful process and I absolutely loved it. Anyway, the song is just, you know, that's really what it's about. It's about the desire for intimacy and connection, and how through technology we can actually feel that in a really strange way, like equivalent to when you actually meet someone in person. Anyway, it's a special feeling. So I want to hear some more questions. Thank you. Compliment about my tap dancing. I love tap dancing. I can't say enough about tap dancing. Not a question, but it's so crazy how you can make yourself look so young for roles. Yep, it's true. People, it's so weird. I feel like I look like a different person every day. It's really strange. Yeah. Are you doing an album? I'm not sure. We've recorded 3 songs. We've shot the music video for the 2nd song. And we're planning a music video for the 3rd. So, you know, eventually I'm sure there will be an album. But for right now, we're just kind of taking it single by single. And it just feels right, so I can, like, you know, just give myself space and time to figure out, you know, sort of find my voice as a musician. Not even find it, because I don't know if that's like a destination. But yeah, it would be like an EP, like a 3 to 5 song EP for sure. Well, that'll probably be the first step before an album. Yeah, thanks, Nico. But it's interesting, you know, like I'm loving the process so far, and the music video for the 2nd song is like, oh my god, it's so fun. It's such a good video. I'm so excited to share it with everyone. Tanya has a test. Tanya, good luck. Man. School. It's crazy. It's been so long. I was in school. I went to USC, University of Southern California. I was there for a year. That was interesting. All right, let's see if there are any more questions. Is it going to be on Apple Music? Yeah, for sure. It'll be everywhere. Like, anywhere you can imagine to listen to music, you'll be able to hear the song. Do I love Romania? I have no reason not to love Romania. Romania is awesome. In fact, my ancestors are Eastern European, but I don't think any of my ancestors were from Romania specifically. Oh my god, I'd love to go to India. India is truly like my dream trip. All your comments are so nice. I'm just taking a moment to read them. I feel like I do so much talking on these. I was just taking a moment to. Oh. I thought someone said that they want to come live with me And I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, can I come live with you again? And I was like, what? And then I realized it was, can I go live with you again? Very different. I was like, no one's ever lived with me. All right. Yeah, I love Harry Styles. He's awesome. I really appreciate his there's like a playfulness to him, which I really appreciate, where he's like, you know, he's operating within, like, he's clearly such a talented person, and he's operating within that talent in such a playful and kind of like flirtatious way. I really appreciate his energy he brings to his music. It's really fun. You know, it's kind of crazy. I was also on the way over here, back to my place. I was listening to Ariana Grande's new album, which I think is just like, I think it's really great. I really enjoy it. You know, I've never been to Mexico, actually. Yeah, maybe. No, I've never been to the Philippines. But one of my friends is Filipino. I don't know if that doesn't count though. It's like, it doesn't mean anything. Oh, I'm sorry. Robbie, ask your question again, man. I'll answer it. I'm looking. Ask your question. Well, Sophie, I'm gonna assume you're asking me about musician, and I'd have to say my favorite musician right now would probably be like Jason Isbell. But a list of the ones who have really like inspired me, I'd say Jason Isbell, Ben Folds, John Mayer, Gary Clark Jr. I love Sarah Bareilles. I mean, like, the list goes on and on. I love music. I absolutely love listening to music. As so many do, because I feel like it's just kind of like the way we can all just sort of really connect and just kind of, you hear something deeper than words or a melody when you're listening to your favorite songs. You know what I mean? Like, you hear something really special. You hear, you might even say like a piece of the artist's soul, if you want to get, you know, deep about it. Songs you recommend. Ooh. I'm still waiting on Robbie's question. I want to hear the question. He said I looked away every time he asked. Now I want to know what the question is. What was the... I forget the one I was just answering. Oh, Sia albums. I don't really know Sia's work before Sia was kind of like Sia, but I do love Sia's music. I mean, like, you know, didn't she did this one song? It was like Shia LaBeouf was in the music video. That song was so freaking good. I absolutely love that. Okay. Is that Dolly behind you? Yes, it is. Okay. Let's see if there are any more questions at Cameron. Bum 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 bum. Yeah. Hi, Zoe. So Zoe is messaging. It's 1 a.m. in the UK. Well, Eva, I kind of already talked about the inspiration for 21st Century Love. I feel bad about not answering your question, but I don't want to be super redundant. I will give you a brief kind of synopsis of it. Essentially, I matched with this girl on a dating app, and I just became fascinated with the feeling that you could have for someone with never meeting them. And it was like a moment that was highlighted, even more than just like having a crush on an actress you've seen in a film or something, or, you know, or vice versa. You know, like, we've all projected feelings onto people, but there was like there's something so normal about that, but in a weird way, it's the most abnormal experience ever. Which is why I really wanted to write a song that sort of examined like how we live in this very technologically like dependent world, and what does that actually like mean for intimacy and connection, and what does that mean for feeling something real if we can't be in the same room as someone? So 21st Century Love is like it's like a love song to that feeling, but it's also like a bit of a call to action in the sense of like what's going on here. Like I love meeting people in person. I love it's magical when you meet people in person, and when you know there's something a little more controlled and distant about meeting someone over technology, over whether it's Instagram or whether it's like, you know, a dating app or something, or a Zoom session with a director or whatever. It's like, you know, it's still interesting and it's still powerful, but 21st Century Love is kind of a questioning of that experience and saying, yes, it's beautiful and you can feel it, but like, this is kind of the new direction of things. And I'm very proud of the song. I feel like the song the reception so far has been absolutely amazing. I'm so grateful to everyone who's just really just gotten behind it, and like, you know, it's an amazing feeling, because I believe in the track. I think it's a solid piece of production. I think it's good songwriting. So for people to be accepting it and getting excited about the song is kind of like, you know, it's such a privilege. That's the only word I keep thinking of, you know, like, thank you, Kristen. Will I marry you? I'm sorry. I don't really have plans to get married for a while. Also, we've never met. We've never been on a date, so I can't agree to marry you. Robbie's question. Fuck, I missed it again. Robbie, please write your question where I can see it in the questions area. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I really don't. I'm not sure. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, Daniel Allen just wrote in. Daniel's a very talented producer and artist who lives here in LA. In fact, I think he has a song on Friday coming out as well. Yeah. That's a cool thing, man, is like when you meet people, like music has been this amazing way to just meet such fascinating and talented people. And when you're sitting in a room with other people who just want to create art at the highest level, it really doesn't get any better than that. It's my gosh, it's like when you're on set with, you know, I did a movie a couple years back called The Judge, and it was with like Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Duvall and Vincent D'Onofrio and Jeremy Strong, who has since blown up because of Succession. But I mean, like, we knew Jeremy was like an amazing actor on that set. I idolized that dude, Jeremy Strong. I mean, he's so freaking good. But I remember being on set and we'd just be sitting in this room, like getting ready for a scene, and like Robert Downey Jr. would be there. Like all these actors were just in a room, and I was like, oh, and we had Janusz Kaminski, who's like won a few Oscars, working on Steven Spielberg's movies. We had him DPing, and it was just like David Dobkin, who's this great director who's directed a million movies. Like, I'm pretty confident he did Wedding Crashers, and but I remember being in that room, like just surrounded by all of these people. I was just like, this is heaven. Just a bunch of people who execute their art at the highest level and who are good people. And it was like such a privilege. And that's what I feel about music when I'm in a space with people and we're creating music and we're, you know, discussing ideas. It's like, it's a true privilege. What was it like to work with Robert Downey Jr.? Ooh. So, I'm I'm going to preface this. The question was, what was it like to work with Robert Downey Jr.? And I'm going to tell you this. It's exactly what you would think it would be like. He's essentially... he kind of acted like Tony Stark on set. It was like... So one day, this is one of my favorite stories from set. He had a golf cart that he would drive like from his trailer to the studio where we were shooting at. It was this big like soundstage in Boston. And he was handing out presents or something that day. So he drives by pretty fast and he tosses me something. I think I'm just outside my trailer. He just tosses me something, and as he tosses it, he says, "Don't say I never did anything for you." And I like open this thing that's in front of me, and it's this little like golden Iron Man keychain with like these like red eyes. And I remember just like collapsing, like just laughing my ass off. Robert Downey Jr. he and I went to the same theater camp. And so we were able to bond over that and like discuss like the camp and his experience there and my experience there. And it was just like, he's one of the greatest actors we have, ever had. His performance in Chaplin, oh my God, one of my favorite movies is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I love that film. And, working with Robert Downey Jr. was, it's kind of crazy. It was really, really, really fun. All right, let's see if there are any other questions here. Yeah, the keychain is somewhere back home. I don't know where it is, though. I would absolutely guarantee you, I actually do know where it is. I keep most of the things that I get from like presents from actors or like letters, like rap letters or whatever. Got it. Robbie, got your question. Yeah, for sure. So Robbie wants to know, what was it like writing and releasing your first single? What was the recording process like? I have a degree in audio engineering, so I'm curious. Well, essentially, I'd written my first song in like spring of 2019. I'd written my first song. I came back to Los Angeles. I did a demo with a friend. And I took that demo of that song. I sent it to my voice teacher. My voice teacher connected me to this young producer in LA named Jacob McCaslin. Jacob and I went to go meet Jacob to do another demo with him of a different song that I'd written. Now, around the time that we had our meeting, I had been working on this unfinished song that was called I Fell in Love with You on a Screen. So it's kind of like, I really forget how it went, to be honest. It was like, it was weird. It was like a verse structure. It had a refrain, which was I fell in love with you on a screen, but I didn't really entirely have a fully finished song. And the recording process was pretty much, I decided to play that song for Jacob when I kind of sensed that he wasn't super into the one I'd played for him before. And a lot of times with songwriting, this is really interesting, but you may write a song that you feel is quite strong. And then the best part is like, sometimes I'll just go to, Jacob and I will have a recording session, and I'll just bring him, like I think the 2 recording sessions ago, I just brought him like 4 or 5 songs, and I just played them for him. And because we were deciding which one we were going to do next, and like, you kind of know which one is the strongest song when you're singing it. The other ones can be good. The other ones were fine. And they'll be recorded eventually. But like, you can always tell which one you really want to do right now. There's like a feeling in the room. And that's how it was with this thing that I played for him. The other song was fine. And it would have been a fine demo. But like, he really wanted to produce this song, I Fell in Love with You on a Screen. And we began writing it together. And so that was a co-writing collaboration. And Jacob produced the track. And, you know, the recording process was, we did like 2 or 3 vocal sessions. A lot of times with vocals, you go in, you do a bass track, like you just get everything, you know, you do a foundation track of vocals, and then you come in a couple more times and you do like backing vocals and harmonies, and, you know, you double stuff, and like, no, it's not on Spotify yet. On Friday it will be. It's not out yet. It's out on Friday. But essentially that was what the recording process was like. It was very much, it was all new for me. I'd never done anything like that before. I had never, you know, I didn't even know how to sing on a microphone. I was just like, I had to learn how to do that. And I think that what was interesting is I feel like it was an easier transition for me because of all of the years I've done like voiceover work and like ADR, which is like post-production dubbing. If they need to like redo a line. So it was like, you know, it was very similar to that, and I think I was able to sort of like flow, you know, pretty quickly actually, with the process. But that was what recording was like, and it was pretty standard in that regard. It was a great experience, and it got, you know, the recording is interesting because it's like, it's a lot of hard work. When you're recording a song, it's like, it's exciting and it's thrilling, but it's also, it's a lot of like building a fence kind of vibe. Like, as my friend likes to say, mowing the lawn. You're mowing the lawn a lot when you're writing a song, and when you're recording the song, you're just kind of like, you may have to do the same line 1,000,000 times. And you might have to do every single time exactly the same way. So there's a point where it's more about consistency, with recording. And, okay. Oh yeah, thanks for asking. So today I did my first live performance, for 21st Century Love. And it was like, oh my God, it was so cool. It was me and the producer, Jacob. We, I'll post hopefully we'll have the video soon. But, it was crazy. I got to do it at this like epic venue. I'll share with you all very, very soon, but it was like crazy. Yeah, I mean, Robbie, that sounds right. I mean, songs take forever. They take many, many hours. I mean, 6 hours to work on one song seems honestly like it seems like kind of a lower number. That shocked me about the recording process, how long it took. I mean, movies, for instance, take like 1.5 years, 2 years from start to finish of like pre-production to distribution, if you're lucky. You know, some movies, like I think it's the famous like Blue Valentine story, but Derek Cianfrance took like, what was it? I think like 10 years to finish that film, or from having it being written to it came out, you know? So like 10 years is crazy. Good question. So when an artist says that they wrote with someone, does it mean like the lyrics or something more than that? So it's different, you know? It's different. It could be typically like, from what I understand about it, is you kind of just, you just end up taking like equal parts essentially of the song. It might be different if you're, you know, kind of I don't know. For me, here's my philosophy when it comes to stuff like that. So music and acting and everything, there's such collaborative efforts. I may come in with a lyric, and Jacob may have a better idea for like a word, or he may take out some words, or he may change the line altogether. At the end of the day, I don't care who's writing on the song. Like, as long as the song is good. That's all I care about at the end of the day. Like, and I'll fight for that too. So like, if I think a lyric is better, but other people disagree with me, I'll fight for that if I truly believe that is like the right lyric. Like this last song that we recorded, it'll be my 3rd release. And it's like, we had 3 different songwriters on that, which was the first time I'd ever experienced someone other than me and Jacob collaborating. And for me, it was like I had written this song at the beginning of the pandemic, and then I sent the song off to I'd met this artist named Sad Alex, who's really, really freaking good. I mean, she's such a good songwriter. But I'd met her through her manager, and I'd met her manager through a friend of mine, and we just got on the phone one day just to chat. You know, it was like just a kind of like a friendly thing, just to sort of like, you know, we talked about the music industry and stuff, and he was just giving me some, just kind of waking me up to some stuff that was really interesting, and then he was like, you should meet my client, Sad Alex. And so Sad Alex and I got on a call, and I was like, I feel like I have a song that you and I could do together. And I sent her this song that I had written, and then she went off and did her own version of it. And when it came back to me, it was still my song, but it was so different. And I didn't care. Like, it didn't bother me at all. I was just like, great, this is better. This song is better. This is a great song. So when I shipped that song off to Jacob to produce it, it was just like, he made that better. Then he sent me what he had done, and then I put my own stuff back in it. See what I mean? So it's almost like that's how you can't really break down who does what. At the end of the day, the song is the thing that takes the priority. The scene is the thing that takes the priority, right? So it's like, I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. And it's like, as long as the art is good, that's all I care about. So I approach like my philosophy behind the business with that same mindset. You know, it's kind of just like, you put the art first, and then, you know, and I've been so blessed to work with lovely people, and that's just how it comes down to. I've been so lucky to have met such talented and, you know, just lovely humans in the music world so far. It's such a blessing. Okay, so enough of that rambling. I think the question that made me think about all that was like, what was the writing process like? Or like, how do you split it or something? Did that sort of answer your question a little bit? An opinion on violins. Oh my God, I love violins. Ben Folds, one of my favorite musical artists, incorporates violins in On the back of da 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 da, I knew you'd be gone as soon as you could. Da 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 da. How does that? What's that song called? It's such a beautiful song. It's like, you could see that you weren't yourself, and the lines on your face did tell. It's just a da 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 da. I think it's called Gone. I think the song is called Gone. And it's like, violins on that track are so beautiful. So to answer your question, I love violins. Do I check my DMs? Honestly, I check them every now and then if I specifically mention to someone, DM me, but not like regularly. I have a baby face. Thanks. I don't know. Yeah, songs are really beautiful processes. Like, it is kind of like I always laugh when I look at like a Maroon 5 song and I see they have like 15 songwriters on it. You know, before I started recording music, I didn't understand. I thought it was stupid. And then after I started recording music, I was like, oh yeah, that's why there's so many songwriters on it, because that's just the process. And it's like, you know, I love it. Because everyone has their own relationship to the song, right? So everyone sees their own thing when they're writing. So the song becomes almost like this combination of so many people's experiences. So really, if I bring in an idea for a song, I'm really waking something up in someone else, whether it's the producer or another songwriter. And they're like, oh shit, 21st Century Love, that reminds me of the time that I did this thing with that person, and it was like this, and it was like that, and it's like, but my experience was like this, and I was like, oh, well, mine was like that. And it's like, oh, well, the song can be about everything. And that's why pop music can be pop music, is because it's like, it can apply to everyone. Especially something like 21st Century Love, which is like, I'll say it again, it's kind of what we're doing here, right? We are connecting through a screen. And I absolutely, like, you know, I love doing Instagram Lives. I love talking to everyone. I love hearing your questions. I love, like, interacting on this level. And it feels like it feels like a conversation. So in that regard, it's like 21st century love. It's a very, like, real thing, you know? All right. Let's see. Any more questions? Coffee or tea? That is tea. Over there is coffee. So both. Yeah, I mean, when I play 21st, I mean, some people, when they listen to 21st Century Love, apply it to, like, kind of falling in love with, like, an actor or an actress on the screen, like on a movie screen or TV or whatever. Some people interpret it like that. Some people immediately go to dating app. Yeah, I'll be doing much more lives. I love doing Instagram Lives. Aw, thanks, Cameron. I was a screenwriting major at USC. So I went to USC for 1 year. And I tried to go to school and act. And it's very difficult to do that. Props to people who can get it done. The school has to be behind you. And schools don't like when you're missing class a lot. So I was only at USC for 1 year, but in that time I was a screenwriting major in their film department. It was an interesting time in my life. I met two of my best friends there, so I cannot complain. Yeah. If I had the chance, would I go back to college? Maybe. I don't know. I would never want to say no or yes. I can't know. I don't know. I'm open to it for sure. Why not? Do I live with someone? No. I do not. Okay, I'll answer a few more questions. I think I'm gonna call it a day. There's so many, like, who's rating, have there really been 50 questions? Oh, I have no comment on the Johnny Depp thing. I have no idea what's going on. I did my first film when I was like 12. Does that make sense? 13? I think I was 13. 13 turning 14. How'd I get into acting? I had a major crush on this girl in the grade above me. And she was a huge theater geek. And I was like, the only way I'm ever going to hang out with this girl is if I audition for the school play. And like, because we had no classes together. So I auditioned for the school play. I didn't get a part. I was auditioning for, like, literally a mummy in the Halloween play. Literally a mummy. And after I didn't get a part, I was like, well, I'd really love to do this because I had a lot of fun at the audition. And I really wanted to prove the director that I could really act, because I don't think my audition for Mummy number 3 proved that I could, like, act. How could it not? And anyway, so I auditioned for the school musical, which was one of my favorite musicals, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And I ended up getting the role of Joseph. And after that, I fell in love with acting. It was like, and that's what I love about music videos, right? It's the same thing. It's like you get to sing, you get to act, and in 21st Century Love, as you saw in the teaser, I got to dance, like I tap dance. I also dance in the second music video too. It's just different. It's not so much tap dancing. Do I like Harry Potter? Hell yeah, I love Harry Potter. Oh, hi Alexandra. Yeah, Mummy number 3 could have been iconic. It wasn't. Someone wants to know about my books. My favorite book is, it's under a big stack of other books, so I'm not going to get it right now. One of my favorite books of all time is a graphic novel called Blankets by Craig Thompson. And that's, like, by far one of my favorite books ever. It's so sweet. It's so beautiful. Okay. Mummy number 3 flopped without me. Oh my god, Just Kids. Do I have that one here? I don't think I have my Just Kids here. But Just Kids was literally like one of my favorite books that I'd ever read. I love Just Kids. I love Patti Smith. I love M Train. Patti Smith is, I mean, my gosh. Alright, maybe I'll answer a few more questions. Oh no, I wasn't talking about The Mummy, number 3. I was talking about my audition for The Mummy, number 3, in the school play. Oh my god, misunderstanding. Let me put this. Live version of Danny Phantom? I would do that in a second. I loved that show growing up. I love Danny Phantom. Thank you. Okay, I'll answer a few more questions. We'll call it a night. S.E. Hinton? I feel like I've read, I don't know if I've ever read The Outsiders. S.E. Hinton. What else has she written? It's a totally ignorant question. I should know that. Let's see. Do I miss Teen Wolf? I wouldn't say, honestly, it's weird. I wouldn't say I miss it. I would say I miss working with really lovely people. The set had a great vibe. That's what I miss. But like as an actor, you know, and same with songs, is like you make the song, you record the song, you shoot the music video, but you're kind of moving on to the next thing before everything else is even done in a weird way. So it's the same with acting. So I don't really miss any of the parts I've ever played. I don't really miss any of the films or projects. I miss more specific things about them. And I don't miss in the sense that I wish I could go back. I miss them in the sense that like that was a special feeling, you know, like, you know, I'd love to experience that again. I think that's more specific to what I actually feel right now. One more question. Let's pick a question. Oh man! All right, I'll answer two last questions because one's really short. Will 21st Century Love be on Spotify? 21st Century Love will most certainly be on Spotify. It'll be anywhere you can imagine you can listen to music. Like, anywhere. If it's not, DM me or something. Comment, let me know if it's not on a streaming service because I'm pretty confident it's literally like on every single one. Okay. What was it like to work with J-Lo on The Boy Next Door? We'll end on this one. So, I've been really, again, it's like a privilege. It's like to get to work with people who are just at the top of their game, whether it was like Robert Downey Jr., as I was talking about earlier, or whether it was Jennifer Lopez on The Boy Next Door. I mean, the thing that amazed me about Jennifer was that she just like worked so hard. I'd never seen anything like it before. I'd never seen someone just do so much. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, I think she did it, I forget, but she was rehearsing for some music show. I think it might have been the VMAs, if I'm correct. She was doing this huge dance number at the VMAs. So she would shoot some scenes, and then she would leave set, and then she would go, it was crazy. She would just literally just go to rehearsal. And when we met in Detroit, I haven't told this story in years. This is a crazy story. So I was in North Carolina. I had done a self-tape for The Boy Next Door. I had a director meeting with the director and the producer, one of the producers. After that meeting, they were very interested in me playing the part, but I had to meet Jennifer, and she was in Detroit doing American Idol. So I actually flew to Detroit. I mean, it's crazy to remember this. This is like, it feels like a different, I don't know. It feels it feels so surreal to be talking about it right now. But it was, I mean, I was like, what? I was like 18 or 19. It's crazy. I flew to Detroit, and I remember just being in this hotel room, and this big camera was set up. Like, it might have been like this like huge cinema camera, and, you know, which is slightly unusual for like an audition. And then there was just these two couches set up, and I just like, you know, was just sort of sitting there, and then, you know, Jennifer Lopez walks in, and we're like, yeah, it was crazy, man. I barely remember that meeting, to be honest. But apparently, whatever I did worked, and I got the part. And, I mean, yeah, she's amazing. I can't say, you know, I can't compliment her enough. She's like, the thing I respect most in people is if they're hard workers. You know, hard workers have a commitment to their craft, to their business. She exemplifies all of that, you know, tremendously. So on that note, these comments are so funny right now. On that note, I am going to call it a day with this Instagram Live. And I'll talk to you all soon. Yeah, it was overwhelming. It was crazy. Yeah. All right. Okay. I hope everyone has a great evening. It was so lovely to talk with everyone, answer your questions. We'll be doing probably a few more of these later this week to promote the song coming out. Also just to talk and answer questions like... No, I didn't faint. Oh my god, too funny. Too funny. Alright, everyone have a great night. I'll talk to you soon.